if I want to hear somebody talk, I want to hear Kim Little talk and not me. So that's for sure. So maybe we can get somebody on the phone named Kim Little.
We do have Kim Little on the line. How you doing tonight, Kim?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for calling and appreciate it.
No problem.
So we were throwing around a joke that that you had a little subpar game, that you only scored one goal in a game. We're used to you scoring 2 goals, but a very a hard fought game.
Yeah, definitely. I think Portland pushed us very hard, and I think both teams had a lot of chances in the game. But luckily for me and for us, we got the last chance and we keep it.
Yeah, it's a game that definitely feels like that it could have gone either way. That it definitely will be interesting to see you guys play again, because I'm sure you can agree that it could have gone either way, because Portland had their chances as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think even before I scored, I think Portland had maybe 2 or 3 good chances, and I had another chance I probably should have put away. So yeah, I think it was a game that could have went either way, but like I said, we're pleased to win ours.
Now, I mean, you've just joined Portland, and you and I talked a couple weeks ago in Washington, but just like a lot of the core of the players, are coming back, and just how Laura Harvey, has sold them on this, staying true to the team, and how the team really bounced back from last year. I'm sure, you can see that now that these are very hard-working players.
Yeah, I think, throughout our team, from the goalie all the way to the forwards, I think every single one of our players is an extremely hard worker, and I think you can see that in the way that we've played so far. Our pressing game and our hard work, pays off in the end.
And we want to ask you another question too. I'm just curious about, you're coming into this new squad. It's a whole new league, a whole new continent. A very young league. What would some of the reasons you'd say about yourself why you're able to fit in right away?
I think playing with the players that we've got at Seattle, ones that are very experienced and are such good players technically and tactically. I think it was quite easy for me to fit in with them. So yeah, and obviously knowing Laura before and knowing the way that she wants to play the game and how she trains and things, I think that has definitely helped me as well.
Now, you think there's similarities between the way that you guys played, with Arsenal and the way you're playing in Seattle? Is it a similar style that she's playing?
Yeah, I think it's similar. Obviously there's different personnel, but I think generally we played a 4-3-3 at Arsenal, and the way we play here, I think there's obviously slight differences purely because the players are different. But yeah, we want to try and play a passing game and a high pressure game. So yeah.
Yeah, and we've looked at your games. There's games where you've come up very large, and there's games where teams might have a little bit of not a handle on you, but kind of put you more in a check, where you become more of a defensive midfielder type of position. What does it say about your squad that you have so many weapons that in any given night anybody can step up?
Yeah, I think we've got so many players in our team, who can step up and create things or score goals when needed. And again, we've got a lot of players who are versatile and can play anywhere across the front line, anywhere in midfield. So I think generally our squad's pretty adaptable and has definitely got several players who've got an eye for the role.
And just more of a cultural question I'm curious about is just coming to North America, what's that been like, just seeing these crowds in North America, how well we support women's football here?
Yeah, I think, the game on Saturday was pretty special. Obviously Portland play in that fantastic stadium and, get a very good support there. So it was great to play in front of that many people. And in Seattle, there's a big soccer following as well. So yeah, it's definitely nice to play in front of a few thousand people, every game.
Now, I was curious, like the decision to come here this year instead of last year, what were some of your reasonings in coming over here this year?
I think, I was at Arsenal last year. I was contracted with them, but I felt towards the end of the year last year, I was ready for a new experience and a change. And obviously, the NWSL continued into this year, and was successful last year. So, and just the experience, the American sort of way of soccer and how big women's soccer is out here.
Yeah, I mean, just like we said, the game is growing so big. I mean, the Women's World Cup in Canada, John and I were talking about. I mean, I'm sure you probably took a little glimpse at that USA-Canada game, just seeing how well this game is supported up there. And I mean, that's probably something great just from a fan point of view, as a player, as a fan, that I think it's going to be a pretty exciting World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. I think I watched a little bit of that game, and yeah, it was great that so many people were at that game, and only bodes well for next year's World Cup in Canada, where I'm sure there'll be a lot more at the game.
And especially, we've talked about how the World Cup for the women has expanded over the years, and just the growth of the game, where it seems when you and I were kids, it was just pretty much China, and Norway, Sweden, and USA were pretty much the dominant. But now that you play for a smaller nation like Scotland, that when you see the World Cup expanding and other teams winning the World Cup like a Japan, I guess that gives you that kind of faith and motivation. Hey, we have a shot to get in this World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. For Scotland being a small nation, it's more about qualifying, than winning it.
Yeah.
But, like you said, all the teams are getting better, and they're catching teams like the USA up, and the ones who have been dominant for so long. So yeah, it's exciting times. I think they've expanded the number of teams in the World Cup, which makes it better. But yeah, it's great for women's football, and yeah, and it'll be exciting, I'm sure, next year in Canada.
Yeah, especially like you guys have got that opportunity too. That if you don't get the World Cup, you can build your association through tournaments like European Championships, just like that, or even Champions League, and build the domestic teams. Just how important those tournaments are too.
Yeah, we just missed out on the Euros last year, but we hope to qualify for those next ones too, which is a great tournament to play in, because the European, amount of teams in Europe, there's a lot of teams who are very good, and I think the Champions League is one of the best tournaments in the world, and I've been lucky enough to play in it a lot with Arsenal, and I think it's definitely good for the women's game, and great fun to play in.
So just just moving here to America, moving into Seattle is an interesting part of the country. Like, have you done any of this sightseeing or gone out with your teammates and seen like Vancouver is not too far away either?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. Obviously, we've been quite busy with the season right now, but I got to see a bit of Vancouver when I first came in, just because I had to get my visa. So I was lucky enough to see a little bit of that, and I got to see a little bit of Portland when we were down there, at the weekend. So yeah, it's a very cool place to live in, and I'm definitely excited to see more of it this summer.
I want to thank you for calling in, Kim. Appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck throughout the season. Thank you so much for calling in.
No problem, Trent. Thank you.